Hello and welcome everybody to Fascinating Fridays. We made it. It's a little rainy outside, so I'm just sitting in this nice little benched area, and yeah, Fascinating Fridays. It's Friday. So hope everybody had a good week. I had a good week as well. It was good eating, clean eating. I feel better. I'm no longer sick at all. I had a good run this morning, so I feel great. I always feel good getting a run in. Get that blood flowing, get the muscles moving, get the breathing. It's just fantastic. So I feel good, and yeah, it's great. So, but yeah, I also started Russian lessons, which I am going to be filming. I did film this first one, had a little audio mishap, so I'm just going to show you some clips in this episode about, yeah. But that's what I'm going to talk about, is how I learn languages today. And throughout the video, I'll put clips of my lesson in so you can see how I'm doing it and things like that. See who my teacher is. I'll link her Instagram and her italki account in the description below, so if you guys want to follow her on Instagram, follow her. If you want to actually start learning Russian yourself, you can go and talk to her. So, or you can just follow along on my lessons. I will be posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think, and there'll be the full raw unedited lesson. It's just right through the entire thing, and from there you'll be able to follow along and see how I go from being a 2-year-old blubbering idiot to a speaker, right? Through using my method, the way I learn languages. And yeah. So what is that method? That method I use is called the acquired language method. And so I first heard about it from Professor James Brown from, I forget what university, but he's a Spanish teacher in that university. And this is the first time I heard that phrase coined, acquired language method. And then I did some more research, and I found Stephen Krasner and how he uses the same kind of method. And then Stephen Kaufman, and yeah, there's many of them. And the reason why I started looking for this was because I was learning German and I struggled. I was like, I don't know how to learn anymore. Ich kann nicht mehr. Es ist zu schwer. Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to get better. I was always stuck, right? I was stuck translating. I was stuck with grammar. I was not necessarily grammar in the sense of knowing what it is, but grammar is like, I don't know how to form a sentence, and I didn't know how to string long phrases together. It was difficult. So then I decided to start. Then I started to research how to learn languages easier. I wanted the easy way out. Which, hint, there is no easy way out in life. It's difficult and you got to work for everything. But yeah, I wanted the easy way out, so I started researching, looking up how I could learn, what I could do, things like that. And I came across these guys and I started trying their method, right? Their method was learning like a child learns their first language. So at the very beginning, I used lots of pictures with lots of, I use flashcards, but with pictures. Try not to use flashcards direct word translation, because then you're stuck translating in your head. Instead of just seeing the picture and seeing like Baum, right? I forget, pole, tree, bush, shirt, glasses. instead of just picturing these in your head, you try to translate if you go word for word. So it's a lot of pictures at the very beginning. Ooh, that's an echo. Pictures at the very beginning, with what they are, and then I also try to read children's books, even if I don't know the pronunciation very well. I still try to read along because it's good. You get that reading process, get to see how sentences are being formed, simple sentences in children's books. And so I read children's books, I watch children's movies, and I listen to music, both children's and more advanced music. Excuse me. And I just do that. And just as I get better, I go at a higher difficulty. But the number one key to being able to speak any language is to speak it. That's why, as you'll see on the screen right now, I am taking lessons with my Russian teacher, Elena, because I need to practice speaking it more, and I need someone with the patience, like she has, to listen to a 2-year-old say, "I want water," but in Russian, in a foreign language, right? Like, I live in the lovely country of Georgia here, and everywhere I go I can practice Russian, so it's good. But not everybody has the patience, and sometimes you just want to have a good conversation, but then it's always ruined because you don't know what to say, or they're constantly interrupting you because they're fixing your sentences and things like that. So it's good to get in with a teacher who has the time and patience. Well, you're paying them for their time. But it does take a lot of skill to be a good teacher, and it takes a lot of effort to be patient. And so especially when you have like a child speaking with you, so it's good that you can do this, and Elena's really good at that, so I'm thankful for her. She's very, very helpful. So, but yeah, and so the speaking is very important, because I think of it like a football. We have the World Cup going on right now, although I've heard rumors that Balenciaga is a sponsor of the World Cup, so if they are, I wouldn't really follow it. I don't watch World Cup, but that's a whole nother story. But let's just use soccer, football, for an example. In football, you gotta learn how to shoot. You have to learn how to pass. You have to learn your positioning. You have to learn the plays and dribbling, and there's different skills you have to learn in football, soccer. And same with languages. Languages are no different. When you're learning a language, you have to be able to speak, you have to be able to read, you have to be able to write, and you have to be able to listen, right? I use those four, like thinking too, but those are my main four that I use. And so if you want to get better at speaking, you have to actually speak. If you want to be good at listening, you have to listen. If you want to get better at reading, you have to read. If you want to get better at writing, you have to write. So it's not easy, it's a challenge, but you just do it, and as you do more and more of it, it gets better, and it gets harder and harder, because you're challenging yourself more. The stuff you already did is easy, but you always got to challenge more, so it gets more difficult, and then eventually you're fluent, and it's good. So that's kind of how I see things, how I do things when I'm learning a language. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun. That's the whole point of it. You're learning how to communicate, so you can actually go in and explore the world, right? You can be informed by reading other things. You can travel, make new friends around the world, right? It's great. It's great. Learning a language, and it's very healthy for your brain too. Helps with the synapses, neuron connections or something like that. I'll have to look more into it exactly, but I know it does help with your brain, helps with stopping or reducing your risk of Alzheimer's and other degenerative diseases. So I highly recommend highly recommend going in and learning a language, and yeah, just giving it your all, trying your best and doing things properly. So, but that's all for me today. It's a fascinating Friday, which leads to a wonderful weekend. So, yeah, thanks for being here on this journey with me. A journey where we're working to improve ourselves daily, to be better and better every day, to get a good life for ourselves in the real world, not in the fantasy fake world of wokeism, feminism, transgenderism, or any of that stuff that the Western world is trying to push on the world, the rest of the world. And yeah, we're just learning how to confront the real harsh truth of life and how to improve ourselves so we can confront it and then in turn be happy in it and be better humans. So thank you for being here with me, and until next time.